Hello, it's Walter from Champions Way. Today I'm going to show you how to set up your mobile pages. Now, Social Site comes ready with your mobile pages, um, meaning that the website is set up so with minimum effort you can actually set up your mobile website as well. So, for instance, this is my homepage of my actual website. So as you can see, my homepage, I can go to the About Us page, all that information. I can go to my schedule page. It's got my schedule in there. And then, of course, the Contact Us page where it's got my address and my Google Map. All right, so what I want to do is if I go into Home, I'm going to go ahead and log in. So now, by default, whenever you get an actual social site app with your database, if you go into your social site, go to your home page, so your social site, these are your app suites at the very top here, Money, Office, Social Site. These are what we call app suites. Within app suites, there are, of course, pages. So if I go to Money, these are the pages within the Money app suite. Office, these are the different pages within the Office app suite. Social Site, App Suite, of course, has its own pages. And the App Suite of Social Site basically has these pages to be public, where the other ones are only administrative. So nobody else can view those, of course. So without further ado, let's go ahead and click on the Edit button. Now, as soon as I click on Edit, I'm in the actual editor now. And as you can see, I have two tabs, Desktop and Mobile. So if I click on Mobile, you can see that it takes me into a shrunken page of the actual website. Now, the desktop version is, your regular website. The mobile is basically a much simpler web page because people are viewing it on an iPhone. Really, the only thing they need to get out of that is phone number, email, and maybe directions, and maybe a small blurb about what you do and so forth. But within Social Site, you can set that up fairly easily. So if you're one of the customers that have the SMO package, we will basically design the mobile site for you. So this will basically be taken care of for you. But if you just have a social site app without any, designing or any web services, you can basically come in here and do this yourself. So this is the header image of your mobile. So if I click on it, basically it will show you the dimensions of that image down below here. So the width is 286, the height is 207. So your mobile width is usually no more than 300 pixels wide. So always keep that in mind, that if you put an image that's going to be 500 pixels, it's going to show up very ugly on the mobile page. Make sure it's under 300 pixels. So basically if I click on that, the toggle bars appear all around my image. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my image manager, and I'm going to basically upload a new image for my mobile page. Now here, the image can be whatever you want it to be, a group of students maybe yourself in an action pose, or just a logo. So when we normally set up the mobile pages for SMO customers, which is the social media optimization, by the way, it's a great service, but we usually put the logos up on top for people. So from here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to go with this image. And of course, be aware that the images that you use are not copyright infringements, meaning that they're not owned by Getty Images or somebody else. You basically need a license to have those images if you didn't take them yourself. So if you basically found them somewhere on the internet, beware that they are probably copyrighted and you cannot just use them freely. So basically, because this is just a preview session we're having, this image is basically not going to be online, so I don't need to worry about that. So basically, here's my image, and I'm going to go into properties now. So as you can see now, the width is way too big. It's 619 pixels by 434 pixels. So as I said, the width cannot be any more than 300. So having said that, I'm going to basically join this little plug together so my proportions stay the same when I change either the width or the height. So I'm going to change my width to basically match the picture that's already there, sort of. So I'm going to change this to 289. The original picture was 286, so close enough, 289, and of course my height automatically will change because I joined the little toggle at the end. If I untoggle it now and it's not joined, if I change the height, the width will not change with it. So make sure that's joined to keep your proportions evenly. Now here, if you wanted to put a border color around it, by all means. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a gold line around mine, and my width or border width will be, let's say, 5. Now your alt text, this is basically the description of your image. For the hearing impaired, it's great to do this. So what the alt text should be is a short description of what that image is. So I would say basically woman punching, because that is what is in the actual image. So you want to be descriptive. So if somebody, impaired viewing will be able to actually hear what that image is about. Women punching. And actually Google really likes when you have alt text describing the images. You get pointers for it. Long description, not going to bother. Image alignment. So now this is fairly important. So if I drop my image alignment down, it's going to show me where do I want to place this image. I want to basically put this image in the center, but at the top of my page. So I'm going to go ahead and click top, and then the cell padding or margins I don't need to worry about. But when you are adding images to your website, if you're going to add image to the right of text, you're going to need basically spacing in between that, or a margin. So if I was spacing an image to the right of text, I would probably want 15 pixels of margin to the left of my image, so the text would not be right on top of my image. But if you check out the other tutorial I did on floating images, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Alright, so I've done all my little adjustments. I'm going to go ahead and insert my image. As you can see, my image is now inserted into the mobile editor. And as you can see, the image is a little big because I do have to scroll one way or another, but it's pretty minuscule, so on the actual iPhone itself, it would be fine. Below this now, we have the H1 tag, or the title of my page. As I said, never go in and just highlight everything and delete it all. That's a big no-no, because what happens is you delete everything in the back end, and then you won't be able to do anything on the page. So what I do is I'll put my cursor in front of the title, and I will just backspace it, and I'm going to put Walter's Demo. And now for my text, and of course for the text you don't want to backspace all of that because that's a pain. So what I do is I basically highlight my text, but I always make sure that I leave at least one word in there, so I don't delete everything from the page. So just make sure if you are deleting and you get this blue bar or this blue border all the way around, it means it's going to delete everything, so be aware of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to basically remove text as I'm going here, because it seems that these are in a table, so you don't want to delete everything on the fly. So I'm just going to delete this guys like this, so I don't throw off my p tags. And you'll hear a lot of p tag stuff here, because the p tags is what allows you to put text on this page. So in R is basically allowing me to continue putting my own text in here now. So I would put Walter's Demo team has been in service. And then I can come in here and delete everything in front of that. And now when I'm talking about p tags, so if I look at the HTML coding, you're going to notice that if we go into where I'm actually putting in my writing, you'll see that here is my p tag. So this is what allows me to put text in that area, and here's the closing of that p tag. So if these p tags were not here, I would not be able to put anything in there. All right, but so when you're deleting stuff in your content area, make sure that you don't just go in and wipe everything out. Leave a word or two in there so you can go back in there and start typing. And then basically from here, you can basically add whatever kind of text you want. If you do copy from Word, what I normally do is I would take something that I have in Word. Let's see, do I have anything that I can show you? But normally what I do is when I have something in Word, I would basically copy that, and then I basically place that into Notepad. Because what will happen in Notepad, it removes all formatting from that. So once it's in Notepad from here, I can basically copy all this, and now I can paste this into the actual editor. So basically if I go into here and I move my cursor down one, if I copy and paste everything in there, it's going to basically put all that text in there without formatting it to what Word had. So it's going to basically come here unformatted, so it's going to basically grab whatever the HTML page is calling for. So if, you know, I have Tahoma style font here, and my size is 12 pixels, it's going to basically copy whatever style I have already on this page. Where if you had it in Word to, you know, Calibri and the font size was 30, that's what would show up on the page when you copied and pasted into here. So make sure that if you do copy from Word, paste it into Notepad, then copy it from Notepad, and then paste it into your text area. And then once I've got that done, I can go ahead and save my page, and your mobile page is done. So now we basically, let's say we fixed one of these pages, for instance, my home page. But now if I go into another page, for instance, let's say the About Us page, let's say this page has not been formatted for mobile. So if I go into mobile, you'll see that this page now does not match my original page. So a quick way to do this is go back into home, go to mobile, and from here, I'm going to go into HTML. Now all I'm going to do is if I click anywhere in here, I can then hold the control key down and click on the A letter, and it's going to highlight everything for me. Then I'm going to do control and the letter C for cat, which is going to copy everything. Then I'm just going to go to the About Us tab. I'm going to click on Edit. I'm going to go into my mobile page. Again, go into HTML, and then I'm going to do the same again, Control A, but now I'm going to delete everything that's in there. And then I'm just going to paste what I currently already have in here. And if I go back into my design now, you'll see that my design of that previous page is here. Now all I have to do here is come in and just change my text with my new text that I want to add into this page. And that's a quick, easy way to basically set up your mobile pages. And whatever pages you set up for mobile will basically show up on your mobile phone. So right now, basically, if we go into schedule and I click on the edit button here, and I now go to mobile, you'll see that I have this page. So if we wanted to embed the scheduler into here, remember that the width cannot be more than 300 pixels. So if we were going to copy the schedule here, this is my iframe for it. So remember that you have to grab everything from div tag to div tag. So if I grab this, I'm going to copy that. Then I'm going to go into mobile, and I'm going to go ahead and let's see here. I'm going to put it. So first of all, let me just get rid of some of this text, because I don't want all that. Let me get rid of this text. I don't want that. Let me get rid of this text. I don't want that. Get rid of that. I don't want that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, let's say I'm going to put it here, and I'm going to basically change my title now to schedule. And if you can see, because I basically just backspaced away, I removed the H1 tag from here. So now the schedule or the title of the page is no longer the way it should be. And that's because I just went in there and started deleting stuff. So as you can see, this is basically where the schedule should be with H1 tags in front and behind it. So if I just go in there and do it manually, I will then just come back in and do it one like this and like this. And now if I go back into my design view, you'll see that schedule is back up. Alright, but that's why you don't want to go in there and start deleting stuff, because then you do need to know a little bit of HTML to revert those H1 tags, which are your title tags. And then of course P tags are what will allow you to put regular content into that area, so in our Marshal. So in between the P tag and the closing of the P tag, here's a closer. I'm going to basically go ahead and put my schedule right in between that. So I'm going to paste that in there. Now remember, the width has to change. And I'm going to make it basically, actually, 286 was a little bit big. So I'm going to change this to 285. Whoa, that's 2000. We don't want that. So let's go to 285. Now my height is fairly huge. We don't want the page stretching that much. So I'm going to basically bring this down big time to, let's say, 350. And then of course you got the scroll bar, so you'll be able to scroll within that. So now if I go back to my design view, you'll see now that my scheduler will appear on the actual page itself there. But because the document is not saved, you cannot see the actual schedule itself. Let's see, once I saved it, if I go back to mobile, there is my schedule now. But of course you're not seeing this because it's in edit mode and not in actual real time. But in real time, or if you logged into your iPhone, you'd be able to see my schedule page. But the schedule times, of course, are not showing up because, like I said, it's not in real time. We're in edit mode, so it won't show the scheduler up. So the dates are missing from our schedule. But that's basically all you need to do to set up your mobile pages. So set up one page, then copy the HTML coding, and you can paste it all into your other pages. I hope that was helpful for you. Thank you.